So, how is everybody doing? I don't really know where to start with this video, really, because everybody is going through the same, somewhat similar situation. But let's do a life update while I put some makeup on. Obviously, this stuff with the coronavirus is unreal. I can't believe what life is like now, and it's only been a week. Just gonna start off with my eyeshadow primers here. I'm using one by INGLOT and one by Urban Decay. So about a week ago, my office shut down the physical building and told us all that we should start working from home immediately for the foreseeable future, because coronavirus is spreading and community spread is a real thing, and they didn't want to have us spreading it and making it even worse than it's already become. So I've been working from home for the last week. This is my second week. And at first I started out thinking that it was gonna be okay. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna like still work out every day. I'm gonna be super productive. I'm gonna keep my house super clean. And it started off that way, but tell you what, I fell off the bandwagon so fast. What was it? Tuesday was St. Patrick's Day last week, March 17th. And I was like, yeah, I always celebrate St. Patrick's Day, but you know, I'm gonna be home because you can't go out. You are not supposed to go outside and spread stuff, so that's fine. I'm gonna stay home. I was raiding with my World of Warcraft team anyway. Got drunk, had fun that night, and I have been drunk basically every night since then. My ability to cope with staying home all the time is not very good. I'm going to be using the Tati Beauty Textured Neutrals palette again today. I know I just posted a video of it last week, but there's a few more shades that I want to try out, so I'm going to use that today. Primarily, I want to use Aura Sequin all over the lid because it's such a pretty color. So anyway, this video is probably going to be very disjointed because I've been stir crazy for a week now and I'm starting to lose my marbles. But I work for a bank in Canada, a national bank, and for head office in marketing. And I am very lucky that we are able to work from home on a permanent basis because we've all got laptops. We can work remotely via VPN, which is phenomenal. I don't even know how to process how good that is because there are so many people out there right now that are struggling to keep their jobs, and really employers just can't keep people on the payroll anymore because no money is coming in for like restaurants and stuff. Because like here in Canada, they've shut down all of the restaurants, any sit-in kind of ones. My gym has closed, so I'm not going to the gym. Basically everything has been closed, which is a massive loss of income for people. Okay, for crease color, I'm gonna go in with this one right here. This is Soothe Matte. So basically everything is shut down, and rightfully so, but if I did not have this kind of job, I don't know what I'd be doing. And I really don't know how people are going to manage through this at all. So I know people are struggling much more than I am. I'm in a pretty good financial situation, but I really only have my own experience to talk about. So if this sounds a little bit whiny and my situation is not that bad, I apologize, but I've never lived anybody else's life but my own. So I'm going stir crazy. I am drinking too much, clearly, although I stopped last night. I was like, you need to get yourself under control. This is ridiculous. So I cut myself off last night, and I'm trying to get back into good habits because honestly, I've been going to bed at the most ridiculous hours, like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 6 a.m., 5 a.m. Like it's been ridiculous with no social calendar, no restrictions for work, like other than I need to work from 8:30 to 4:30. I just lose all sense of control. And I really didn't think it was gonna happen that quickly, to be honest. I thought I'd be good for like a few months, maybe? No, 1 week, that's all it took. 1 freaking week. I'm using Aura Sequin right now. It is very pretty. It is so strange to have all plans canceled. And I know this is true for everybody because we're supposed to be self-isolating and social distancing and all that stuff. So I'm doing my best to like just stay home completely. I'm still going out for runs occasionally, but I'm not talking to anybody on those runs. But it's so weird to have all plans canceled. Like, not even just like hanging out with friends, but like my St. Patrick's Day 5K race was canceled last weekend. And then even like my half marathon coming up in May has been canceled. There are no plans that I have for the foreseeable future, and it is such a bizarre feeling. It's one of those things that's like, what the hell do I have to look forward to? Like, what is there to look forward to? Because we don't know how long this is going to last. I started reading some really scary articles that were like, you could be in social isolation for like 1 to 2 years. And I'm like, dude, I didn't even make it past a week. I don't know how I'm going to last 6 months to a year. My husband is still going into work, but they've reduced their hours. They're closed to the public. He's a graphic designer. So there are some preventative things happening, but at the end of the day, he's still taking like public transit to get to the office. So that's a danger right now. It may come that they completely close the shop, which would mean he'd be out of a paycheck. But thankfully I've worked it out that I make enough money for us both to survive while still paying the mortgage and all that. But scary, scary freaking times. And if you're somebody who has lost a job through this and you have no other income, my heart goes out to you. I have no idea how people are going to manage through this. And I don't mean to sound all terrifying and all that, but like, I'm at a loss. Like I've never lived through anything like this before. I have no idea how this is gonna go. Wow, this video has really started off kind of doomsday, hasn't it? I'm gonna go in with Ritual and Memory Matte. I think I want a little bit of a deeper outer corner color, and I'd honestly go for more of a charcoal, but I don't really have that in here. So I'm gonna start with Ritual. So maybe tell me a little bit about how you're doing. What's going on in your life? How are you dealing with this? Because I don't feel like I'm coping very well. One of the things that first cropped up, I think I saw this somewhere on Instagram. Maybe it was on Paulina's Instagram story. But somebody, I think, was asking her to do a review of a particular kind of product. And she was like, no guys, like I'm on a no buy now. Like nothing should be purchased that is not a necessity at this point, because we don't know how long money is going to last and all that kind of stuff. And she's bang on. Like, I am officially on a makeup no buy. There is nothing that I need. I'm not even wearing makeup lately. Like, this is the first time I put makeup on in a week, which feels very strange, and it feels very deflating to not be wearing it. But like, I'm not gonna wear it at home. There's like no point. And honestly, it feels kind of stupid to talk about makeup right now. Because what does it matter? It's still fun and all that kind of stuff, but like, it's not a necessity. We don't need it. So it just feels stupid for me to talk about it, which is ridiculous because I still like hearing other people talking about it, which is why I'm still putting out videos. But I'm gonna have to find some other kind of content to produce too, because I'm not buying anything right now. I'm not really wearing makeup to go out. So I'm not really sure what to talk about in terms of makeup. Okay, Ritual's nice. I'm gonna add a little bit of Memory just for a little bit of depth. It's a very dark black, so I don't want to add too much because I don't want to make this just like a flat out black smoky eye. So I'm trying to turn what I'm doing around a little bit. I'm gonna try to make sure that I'm running. And I did go for a run this past Saturday, something like that. It felt amazing. It felt so good. But then I got home and later that evening I started to have like the sensation of a sore throat, and I was like, oh no, like what happened? I'm sure it's just a cold and not the coronavirus, but at the same time, you don't know. I could have been incubating this for like 7 to 10 days and I have no idea. Everything is just really paranoia inducing right now. And then you hear stories about these spring breakers who are like, no, I think it's just the flu. I don't really care what's going on. I'm gonna go have my fun because I've been waiting to do this all year. And then you see them on the beach, not social distancing. You know, they're just making things worse. So please tell me what kind of videos you're interested in seeing from me while I'm literally just at home. I was thinking about day in the life of me working from home, although that'll be good for like one video and then never again because the process never changes. I was thinking of like what I eat in a day videos because I will be home and that's a little bit easier to film when I'm at home as opposed to at the office. But I don't know if that's that interesting for a makeup channel really. Okay, eyes are pretty much done. This was a very simple look. I'm just going to apply some winged liner with my Physicians Formula eye booster and I will be right back. Okay, wing liner is on. I'll come back to finish up the eyes after I've done my face makeup. First, I'm going to start off with the Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. This is part of my Project Pan for 2020. Although, again, I've not been wearing makeup very much, so it's kind of hard to pan any products if you're not wearing it. Man, this video is going to come out as such a downer. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it to be that way. Just get some things off my chest because it's just all kind of come crashing down on me recently. And again, I know we're all going through this with varying levels of financial stability and all that kind of stuff, which I think is probably one of the more concerning things through all this. And I don't mean to complain too much because I'm really not in a bad situation. But it's also something, again, that none of us have ever really dealt with, so I don't know how to process it. Okay, for foundation, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. I have the shade Snow, which makes me really happy because I like snow. So I'm glad that my foundation is called Snow. One of the other things I was thinking about with all of this is that although I'm an extrovert and I get energy off of people, I do have some introverted qualities too. Like I'm perfectly happy to sit and play video games for like 14 to 20 hours straight, no joke. And I'm very, very happy that I got back into World of Warcraft like 6-7 months ago now. Because if I didn't have that community to connect with, I think I'd be struggling quite a bit right now. And although I have YouTube and I love chatting with you guys, I only put out videos twice a week, so that's only really 2 opportunities to connect with people because the comments are usually pretty consistent on the first day that you post a video, and then you can chat back with people then. But you don't hear a lot of chatter in the meantime. But World of Warcraft means that I can talk to my friends all the time. So that's fantastic. We talk in-game, we use Discord for raids and stuff like that. So I'm just so glad that I have that kind of online community because I wonder about these people who are like pure extroverts, who don't really video game or don't have some sort of online community and they're stuck at home because again, we're supposed to be staying at home. What are these people doing? I'd be bored out of my freaking mind. So although I'm struggling from a social aspect and I really want to go hang out with my friends and be outside and all that kind of stuff, at least I have this other community that I can grab onto. And I've got a fair number of good friends in game now. I've got a really good group that I enjoy playing with and we're almost always on, so that's kind of nice. But it's nice to feel connected to people still, even though it's through a video game, but I've always made very, very strong connections with people from the online world. I mean, I met my husband through World of Warcraft. And I've got new good friends in game too. Okay, for bronzer, I'm going to be using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Part of my Project Pan. I hit pan on it in multiple places after repressing it, which was so nice because I was so deflated after repressing it because it just looked like a brand new pan of this stuff. But thankfully I've hit pan pretty quickly, so hopefully there's not that much left. But again, at the rate that I'm wearing makeup, who knows how long this thing will last. Okay, for blush, I'm going to be using one of my old favorites, and actually this was the first blush that I ever owned. No word of a lie. This is Tarte's Blissful, and it is such a phenomenal color. My husband actually bought this for me when I was first getting into like wearing face makeup, because I always wore eyeshadow, but I never really wore like blush or bronzer or any of that. But I saw this on Temptalia's blog, loved the color, and was like, I have to have it. So he bought it for me for Christmas one year, I think it was. And for highlighter, I'm going to be using one by I Heart Revolution, which is part of Makeup Revolution's line. This is the Blushing Hearts Triple Baked Blusher in Iced Hearts. And this is one of those products that took me by complete surprise. Really love the effect of it. Okay, I'm going to use 3 things to do my brows and be right back because this takes me forever. I'm using the IT Cosmetics Brow Power, the Benefit Cosmetics Precisely My Brow Pencil, and then the Benefit Gimme Brow as well. It's a ridiculous process to do these brows now, but I'm much preferring the effect that I've got now than I have in any other previous years. Okay, brows are done. I'm going to pop on some mascara, and I'm using the Benefit Bad Gal Bang Mascara. I got a mini sample size, which I love because I won't buy high-end mascara anymore because it's way too expensive. But I do really love the Bad Gal Bang mascara. It just works out really well for me. For lashes, I'm going to pop on one of my favorite pairs. These are by Tarte. They are the Flirt lashes. I just really wanted to wear some of my favorite staples today because just wanted to feel a little bit better, to be honest. Well, I'm just putting the lash glue on right now. You know, it's funny that this is such a global thing. Maybe not funny is not the right word for it, but you know, when things happen in your community, it's very localized. So although it might be like, let's say gun violence or something, it's more like your community is affected as opposed to everybody else's is. To have something happen on a worldwide scale like this just feels so surreal to me. And I mean, I haven't lived through a world war, so I don't know what that would feel like, but this feels unreal that so many people are going through similar things at the same time. Because usually when you're having a problem, it's really restricted to either yourself or your family or your community. It's not generally the entire world. So it's kind of interesting, kind of neat that it is everybody all at the same time, but at the same time it's also terrifying because everybody in the entire world is affected. For the lower waterline, I'm just going to use my INGLOT Kohl pencil in 05, which is just a nude shade. And I really like how this brightens up the eye look. I know I've mentioned this before, but years ago when people were doing this trick, I thought it was totally bogus. And then I did it myself and I was like, oh, that is a really pretty look. Okay, everything is done except for lipstick, and I'm going to use a long-term favorite. This is the MAC Relentlessly Red Lipstick, and this is so beautiful. Super drying on the lips, can look kind of crusty, but I have never found a color that has been like this neon pink red. It's beautiful. So that's basically where I'm at. I kind of just wanted to talk to you guys today and just, I don't know, do my makeup, I guess. I haven't done it in a week, so it feels kind of strange to do it actually. Yeah, the world is so strange right now, and I know we're all going through very different things in terms of everything. How we can emotionally deal with this, how we can financially deal with this, how our community is dealing with it, because I know that there's still places where people aren't being encouraged to stay home, and I think that that's nonsense, but we can't control everybody, and I just want us as a world to get through this sooner rather than later, because this is only going to get worse if we keep like spreading it within our communities. And it's frightening to think that although I'm this discombobulated after 1 week, how am I going to feel in 6 months if this keeps up? I have no idea. And I just want everybody to be aware too that it's okay to deal with things in different ways. My method was heavy drinking for a few days, but I cut myself off now because that is not sustainable, nor do I want to be drunk every night. But it's okay if you're not in your normal routine and kind of feeling out of it. You will eventually, I hope, pull yourself out of it. But it's okay to not be totally comfortable with where you're at, because that's where I'm at right now. I'm not totally comfortable with what I'm doing, but I'm gonna find a way to sort of cope with it. And hopefully we'll all find a way to come out on this on the other side feeling okay. And that's honestly all that we can really hope for at this point. I've seen people trying to do like COVID diets and like wanting to lose weight after they come out from this. And I've seen people hating on those people because they're like, don't make this about weight gain. And you know what? It doesn't matter what you do during this time. If something is working for you and it's making you feel better, that's okay. Within reason, granted. But try not to hate on other people's choices for what they're doing during this time. Unless they're not self-isolating when they could be staying at home. That's the one thing where I'm like, if you can stay home, do it. My husband is forced to go to work right now only 2 days a week because otherwise he'd have no income. But there are people like me who do not need to leave the house, that can work from home and that can go for a run but talk to absolutely nobody outside kind of thing. So like, do as much as you can to just stay away from other people, because if we continue to socially interact with people and just keep spreading this around, this can go on for years. And I don't think anybody wants to be in this situation in another year from now. Or at least I certainly do not want to be. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. A little bit of a life update. Please tell me any kinds of videos that you would like to see from me now. bearing in mind that I'm not wearing a lot of makeup because I'm just not going to work or hanging out with anybody. Now is the time for tutorials, really. If there's something you want to learn from me, let me know and I can probably try to teach you. Okay, I'm gonna stop rambling. Thanks for listening to me. I hope you're doing okay. And if you want to vent to me, go ahead and do it in the comments down below. Tell me how you're doing. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.